These are the 5 things that you must check before going to a church. Watch this video to the very end, as each of these checks will minimize the risk of you joining a church cult. Please note that this is not a foolproof guide, as it doesn't examine the teachings and practices of a church. For more information on how to identify a church cult, please watch my video on 10 signs of a church cult. With that said, let us begin. Number 1. Check if the church is charity registered. In the UK, most churches must register with the Charity Commission if its income is more than £5,000 per year. To be accepted as a charity, the church must have a charitable purpose that is approved by the Charity Commission and a group of trustees to help run the charity. Once approved, the church becomes regulated by the Charity Commission and must submit annual accounts detailing its income and expenditure. These accounts will then be used to examine how the church is fulfilling its charitable purposes and is available for the public to see. Any church that fails to register as a charity is breaking the law and committing charity fraud. In other words, the leaders of the church are soliciting funds from the public for their own personal benefit. To find out if the church is charity registered, ask for the charity number or look for it on their website. It should be there. Number 2. Check the reviews of the church online. Reviews give us knowledge about something we have not experienced for ourselves. Before going to a church, it is important to check if the reviews are good. Check reviews on Google, YouTube, and other social media platforms to learn of people's experiences. This tip actually prevented me from going to a church cult. One time, an old friend invited me to his church, and after a quick search on YouTube, I found dozens of videos warning the public that the church is a cult. Suffice to say, I did not go. What's also interesting is that my old friend was reluctant to tell me the name of his church, which meant that he already knew that his church had a bad reputation. With this in mind, always get the name of the church you are invited to first. Otherwise, you cannot perform these 5 checks that are designed to protect you from harm. Number 3. Check the statement of faith. Every church must have a statement of faith that identifies its core beliefs. It's crucial to check this information to see if these beliefs are Christian or not, and whether you agree with them. I would avoid any church that does not have or abide by a statement of faith because its beliefs are unknown and open to change. Number 4. Check the church's denomination. A denomination is used to identify the specific teachings and practices of a church, including the style of leadership and worship. By learning more about the church's denomination, you will understand its history, tradition, doctrine, and what makes it different from others. Non-denominational churches do not have specific teachings or practices that can identify it worldwide. In other words, each non-denominational church will be different from another. For this reason, you will need to take extra care when going to a non-denominational church. Number 5. Check the church's policy on safeguarding. The safeguarding policy is a course of action taken by the church to prevent abuse, especially when it works with children, young adults, and vulnerable people. The safeguarding policy must give instructions on how members can report concerns and how the church will investigate them, even if those concerns involve the leadership. This is very important because some churches will put their leaders on a pedestal where they are exempt from accountability. This happens in autocratic churches where one leader has absolute power and authority. In other words, the autocratic leader can say and do as they please without facing the consequences for their actions. An autocratic church is unbiblical and must be avoided at all costs. So there you have it, 5 things that you must check before going to a church. If you apply these 5 checks, it will minimize the risk of you joining a church cult. If you liked this video and found it informative, then please hit the like button below and subscribe to support this channel. If you learned something useful, then share your thoughts in the comment section, as I would love to hear from you. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one. God bless.